Today we're going to take you back to your school days and the school cafeteria. Now, did your lunch lady make peanut butter bars? They were a chewy peanut butter cookie base topped with a layer of peanut butter, and then on top of that, some chocolate buttercream. They were definitely the best part of school lunch. I've taken my full-size recipe for peanut butter bars and I have scaled it down to just the perfect amount for 2 to 4 people. So join me in the kitchen where we're going to make small batch recipes with big taste. Hi, I'm Leanne from YourHomeBasedMom.com, and I have a confession to make. You see, I didn't have a lunch lady. In fact, my elementary school didn't even have a cafeteria. You either had to bring a bag lunch or walk home for lunch, and I was a walker. But for those of you who did have a lunch lady, these peanut butter bars are gonna bring you back a lot of memories. And for those of us who didn't, we just get to enjoy a delicious peanut butter bar. For our peanut butter bars, we're gonna use my trusty little 9x6 pan, which I'll link to down below. And we're just gonna give it a quick little spray of a cooking spray, and then we will mix up the peanut butter cookie base. We're going to start with a 1/4 cup of softened butter. I'm going to get that nice and smashed there so it's nice and soft. And we're going to add in a 1/4 cup of peanut butter. And I'm using creamy peanut butter, but if you want a little bit more crunch to your peanut butter bars, use some crunchy peanut butter. I've got a 1/4 cup of brown sugar and a 1/4 cup of granulated sugar. Mix that, get all that mixed in, and then we're going to add in 1 tablespoon of beaten egg. If you've watched any of my other videos, you know a lot of them call for just 1 tablespoon of egg, not an egg yolk, not a whole egg. If you throw the whole egg in, your baked goods taste too eggy. So I just beat up an egg, and there's about, depending on the size of your egg, I find generally 4 tablespoons of beaten egg per 1 egg. So I've just got 1 tablespoon here, and I like to put the extra into an ice cube tray, freeze it, and then pop them out once they're frozen into a plastic bag to use later. And then all I have to do is, when I'm craving some more peanut butter bars or one of my individual giant cookies, which you can find up there, I can just pull out 1 cube of egg and let it thaw, and it works perfect. All right, got this all mixed together. And we don't want to forget our vanilla, 1/4 teaspoon. I just eyeball it. There we go. And then once that's mixed, whoop, I just splashed some of the vanilla on the table. Once that is mixed, we are ready for our dry ingredients. And we're going to use a 1/4 cup of all-purpose flour, a 1/4 cup, I'm using quick oats today. You can use old-fashioned oats, whichever one you have. If you use old-fashioned, you just get a little bit more chew to your peanut butter bars. And then we are going to add in a 1/4 teaspoon of salt and a 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda. And mix them together just until all your dry ingredients is all combined in there. We're going to take our pan and we are going to spread it into the bottom of the pan, and we're going to bake it at 350 for about 15 minutes. And while it's baking, we're going to prep our chocolate buttercream and our peanut butter layer. We're going to make our buttercream, and we've got 2 tablespoons of softened butter. I usually just use salted butter. And we're going to add in a tablespoon of baking cocoa. Combine that in with our butter. Okay, then we're going to add in 3/4 cup of powdered sugar. And then I'm going to add in 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla or so. Mix that up, and then we're going to add in just enough milk. You can use whipping cream, half and half, what you've got on hand, so that we get a nice spreading consistency. So I'm just going to start with a little bit at a time. With these small batch recipes, you always want to start out with just a little tiny bit, because it's super easy to go from not enough to way too much. Okay. It's a nice, creamy, smooth buttercream. Peanut butter bars are out of the oven now. They would be delicious just like this. They smell so good, but we're going to make them even better. Now, you'll notice as this cools a little bit, it's going to kind of start to sink in the middle. That's totally normal. It's supposed to do that, and it kind of creates a nice little edge, which is going to hold in our peanut butter and our chocolate. So I have a 1/4 cup plus 2 tablespoons of peanut butter here. Again, I'm using creamy. And I'm just going to take it and just let it drop into maybe about teaspoon size dollops right on top. And then we're going to let it sit for just a minute or two, and it's going to start to melt. And then we'll be able to gently smooth out the peanut butter. If we didn't let it sit for a minute and melt, when we went to try to smooth it, it would break right in to those warm peanut butter bars, and we don't want to do that. Okay. All right, so you can see it's started to melt. The peanut butter gets nice and shiny, and then it's just super easy to spread it over the top without digging into that cookie layer underneath. And you're just going to kind of fill in that cavity that has formed as the peanut butter bars have settled. And then we're going to let this cool totally. You can pop it in the refrigerator if you want, and if you're in a hurry, and let it cool, and then we'll be ready to add our chocolate buttercream. We've let our peanut butter bars cool. We're going to take that chocolate buttercream we made and just give that a spread over the top. Just kind of covering over the peanut butter. Go ahead and leave the edge that is formed around there without anything on it. It gives a good place to hold onto that peanut butter bar with. And we're going to cut them into, I like to cut them just in half and then into 6 pieces. So you've got plenty for yourself and plenty to share. You can also, these freeze well. Stick them in your freezer so that you've got some to enjoy later. So the peanut butter bars are frosted. We've cut them into 6 pieces, and all that's left to do, whoop, get them out of here, is enjoy them. So I want to know, did you have peanut butter bars from your lunch lady when you went to school? Thanks for joining me in the kitchen today. Make sure you check out my other small batch recipes by clicking over here, and we'll see you in the next video.